Theological Reminiscence. At the age of 12, I was admitted to the Congregational Trinitarian Church, my parents having been members of that body for a half-century. In connection with this event, some circumstances are noteworthy. Before this step was taken, the doctrine of unconditional election or predestination greatly troubled me, for I was unwilling to be saved if my brothers and sisters were to be numbered among those who were doomed to perpetual banishment from God. So perturbed was I by the thoughts aroused by this erroneous doctrine that the family doctor was summoned and pronounced me stricken with fever. My father's relentless theology emphasized belief in a final judgment day, in the danger of endless punishment, and in a Jehovah merciless towards unbelievers. And of these things he now spoke, hoping to win me from dreaded heresy. My mother, as she bathed my burning temples, bade me lean on God's love, which would give me rest, if I went to him in prayer, as I was wont to do, seeking his guidance. I prayed, and a soft glow of ineffable joy came over me. The fever was gone, and I arose and dressed myself in a normal condition of health. Mother saw this and was glad. The physician marveled, and the horrible decree of predestination, as John Calvin rightly called his own tenet, forever lost its power over me. When the meeting was held for the examination of candidates for membership, I was of course present. The pastor was an old-school expounder of the strictest Presbyterian doctrines. He was apparently as eager to have unbelievers in these dogmas lost as he was to have elect believers converted and rescued from perdition. For both salvation and condemnation depended, according to his views, upon the good pleasure of infinite love. However, I was ready for his doleful questions, which I answered without a tremor, declaring that never could I unite with the Church if assent to this doctrine was essential thereto. Distinctly do I recall what followed. I stoutly maintained that I was willing to trust God and take my chance of spiritual safety with my brothers and sisters, not one of whom had then made any profession of religion, even if my creedal doubts left me outside the doors. The minister then wished me to tell him when I had experienced a change of heart. But tearfully I had to respond that I could not designate any precise time. Nevertheless, he persisted in the assertion that I had been truly regenerated, and asked me to say how I felt when the new light dawned within me. I replied that I could only answer him in the words of the psalmist, "Search me, O God, and know my heart. Try me, and know my thoughts, and see if there be any wicked way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting." This was so earnestly said that even the oldest church members wept. After the meeting was over, they came and kissed me. To the astonishment of many, the good clergyman's heart also melted, and he received me into their communion, and my protest along with me. My connection with this religious body was retained till I founded a church of my own, built on the basis of Christian Science, Jesus himself being the chief cornerstone. In confidence of faith, I could say in David's words, "I will go in the strength of the Lord God. I will make mention of thy righteousness, even of thine only. O God, thou hast taught me from my youth, and hitherto have I declared thy wondrous works. Psalm 71, 16, 17. In the year 1878, I was called to preach in Boston at the Baptist Tabernacle of Reverend Daniel C. Eddy, D.D., by the pastor of this church. I accepted the invitation and commenced work. The congregation so increased in number, the pews were not sufficient to seat the audience, and benches were used in the aisles. At the close of my engagement, we parted in Christian fellowship, if not in full unity of doctrine. Our last vestry meeting was made memorable by eloquent addresses from persons who feelingly testified to having been healed through my preaching. Among other diseases cured, they specified cancers. The cases described had been treated and given over by physicians of the popular schools of medicine, but I had not heard of these cases till the persons who divulged their secret joy were healed. A prominent churchman agreeably informed the congregation that many others present had been healed under my preaching, but were too timid to testify in public. One memorable Sunday afternoon, a soprano, clear, strong, sympathetic, floating up from the pews caught my ear. When the meeting was over, two ladies pushing their way through the crowd reached the platform. With tears of joy flooding her eyes, for she was a mother, one of them said, "Did you hear my daughter sing? Why, she has not sung before since she left the choir and was in consumption. When she entered this church 1 hour ago, she could not speak a loud word, and now, oh, thank God, she is healed." It was not an uncommon occurrence in my own church for the sick to be healed by my sermon. Many pale cripples went into the church leaning on crutches who went out carrying them on their shoulders. And these signs shall follow them that believe. The charter for the Mother Church in Boston was obtained June 1879, and the same month the members, 26 in number, extended a call to Mary B. G. Eddy to become their pastor. She accepted the call and was ordained A.D. 1881.